Good morning and welcome to our webinar, Making the Most of Microsoft Teams and How to Communicate and Collaborate Effectively. I'm hoping at this point you're all sat comfortably and that everyone that has joined us this morning is aware of Microsoft Teams, is hopefully using it even on a basic level and would like to learn more about the platform, some of the features and how to maximize it a little further than you currently are. It should be no surprise that Microsoft are investing a lot of their resources into further developing this platform to become the hub of work. And here at First Digital, we are constantly navigating through all of these new and exciting updates to understand where they may have useful business potential. So next would be pertinent to introduce myself at this point. I'm Christopher Shanks, Head of Technology within First Digital and the wider First Solution Technology Group. It's fair to say I've been obsessed with technology since I was a young boy. I studied artificial intelligence at the University of Aberdeen, was fortunate enough to travel the world as a wireless network engineer, and have been with the business for the past year to help drive and evolve the conversations we are having with our clients. We have a solutions-focused, objective-based approach in which we prioritize overcoming challenges to achieve outcomes rather than constantly pushing the newest piece of technology under your nose, just trying to sell to you. I have been a user of the Microsoft service for many years, and I'm very fortunate that my current role allows me a significant amount of time to further my knowledge of the platform so I can give webinars such as this alongside the workshops that we deliver. Whenever I give short presentations about Microsoft as a whole, I often compare it to having a Sky TV subscription. You pay your monthly amount for 999 channels, and you probably only watch 3 or 4 on a regular basis with a bit of catch up on the side. Your Microsoft subscription is very much full of apps and features that you possibly have never heard of or knew anything about, and that might solve some of the current problems and challenges that you're facing today. Just to quickly introduce our First Solution Technology Group and the 3 businesses within it, we believe this offers a well-rounded technology partnership. We have our award-winning proactive managed service provider, First Solution, focusing on the modern workplace, cloud adoption, and cybersecurity to help businesses achieve their desired outcomes. We have First Digital, our innovation and growth through technology division, maximizing the usage of software such as Microsoft Power Platform and other automation tools to create new and interesting solutions through low investment, high return frameworks. Lastly is First People, our associate network of trusted individuals to fulfill specific customer requirements from lead ISO authors through to on-site business analysts. So the schedule for the next 55 minutes together is quickly beginning reviewing the results from our pre-webinar poll and then introducing some of the foundational elements from Teams. Now, we don't want to spend too much time on this area, as we expect a lot of you have already undertaken this exercise, but just in case anyone hasn't, we'll list the key actions to ensure you've thought about and documented them. We'll then move on to demonstrating some of the pre-built applications within Microsoft Teams that can be utilized right now within your business. The ones we're going to cover in detail are approvals and tasks by planner and to do. However, I will show you a list of the Microsoft developed apps that are available. We'll move on to Microsoft Teams Rooms, the hardware and software offering. This simple to use, unified user interface enables anyone in a business to quickly and easily book and join a meeting room for a Teams call. We have one in our boardroom, and I know all of our staff have loved it so far. Around 11:40, we'll talk about something relatively new, Microsoft's employee experience and engagement platform, Microsoft Viva. For those that have never heard about Viva, don't worry, we'll cover the 4 areas and discuss how they can be implemented within a business. We'll finish up with a summary of the webinar with some links and ideas for you to take away. Just to mention, the Q&A is enabled during this, so do please feel free to pop any questions you have into that function. We do have people ready and waiting to respond, so we'll do our best to address them as we go. If there are any questions we can't answer, we'll make a note of them and follow up with you individually afterwards. So before we get into the Teams applications, You hopefully all answered a question when signing up to the webinar, and we thought it'd be useful to quickly review it. What's interesting and exciting is that around half of people have heard the names of some of the features but just never used them. So a curiosity to see how they can be used is brilliant. This, alongside the third of people that might have tinkered with some of this functionality, but would love it customizing and bespoking to their business and their exact requirements. For those 18% of you that have never heard of them, this is a wonderful occasion to see what is possible, what's out there, and what you might be missing out on. And for the last lucky 6%, I'm really pleased that you're able to use these applications and use lots of different ones. But let's just see if there's something today that maybe even you didn't know about. This is one of my favorite slides, if only to demonstrate just how much development is going on at the moment with Teams. It's a simple screenshot from the Microsoft roadmap, which you can see the link at the bottom of the screen, and I filtered it by Teams only. To me, it signifies the intentions of Microsoft for Teams to become more successful and popular than their operating systems. I believe Microsoft want Teams to have more users than Windows 10 or Windows 7 because it can include Macs and mobile devices. Only this week, when copying this picture, did I see a feature that a client was asking me about: the ability to have Q&A in all Teams meetings, not just live events. And the answer, happily, is it's meant to arrive by the end of September. So watch this space for that. So you can see there is so much time invested in trying to understand what's coming next, with the art of the possible and even technology-based people such as myself having to dedicate effort to keep in the know. This next graph shows the daily average users of Teams versus Slack from 2017 to 2020. In 2017, Slack was the chatting platform of choice. Most business used it. In 2018, they were level. In 2019, the tide was turning, and then by 2020, Teams has completely overtaken Slack as the communication and collaboration tool within business. When people ask me why they should be investing time and resources into Microsoft solutions, I think the answer should be that it's one of the leading, if not the leading platform for businesses at the moment. The stat I have from 2019 states that Microsoft Office 365 had 87.5% market share on the email and authoring market. So a comparison of Office 365 versus Google G Suite. You may not know, but Microsoft's current slogan for Teams is chat, meet, call, collaborate, which identifies the primary role of the package. I'm sure we'll all agree. But there are actually 4 key pillars to Teams, which are communicate, collaborate, customize, and work with confidence. Now, hopefully the first 2 pillars, communicate and collaborate, are quite clear. Customize is where we are able to develop Teams further with integrations from both Microsoft own and third parties to suit our more specific needs and desires, to allow us to develop our own digital workspace. The last pillar is absolutely worthwhile mentioning, because we all know cybersecurity is non-negotiable in the business world. And fortunately, Teams is developed with that in mind. A lot of the features you may already have in place, like data loss prevention and Azure information protection policies, are now fully configurable within Teams as you would expect throughout the rest of the Microsoft ecosystem, allowing you to work with confidence. So a few of the actions we have expected you to already have completed. Having a documented team structure that links to your SharePoint design. Are your hub sites connected? Do they flow nicely into your Teams enabled SharePoint sites? This first action is a crucial element to consider, as a good architecture can lead to a seamless, positive user experience that encourages people to use the platform, whereas a poor design and structure can not only prevent people from collaborating with it, but actively push them away and discourage them. I would recommend that everyone start here and have a review and a look at whether your current SharePoint structures are well thought out and lend themselves to a Microsoft Teams design. Next, do the channels within your Teams have a purpose? Are they distinct enough for users to know what information should be put there? Do you need a standard naming policy or channel management? For example, we put EXT in front of any channel that includes external guests, to make it abundantly clear that information has the potential to leave the business and that our clients and customers are in that channel with us. Have you trained your users on the expected usage? Are people allowed to create new teams and channels, or should they be locked down? Should they be creating group chats or placing messages in the correct channel? User adoption can be the hardest piece of the puzzle and something we work alongside every day. Once again, having an adoption plan to highlight how a pilot will be ran, who will test it, how they can feedback their concerns, and what training they will get is absolutely critical. So it may seem obvious, but what is Microsoft Teams? Teams is a hub for work which brings together everything a team needs: chats and conversations, meeting and video conferencing, PSTN calling, content collaboration, all with the power of Office 365 applications and the ability to create and integrate apps and workflows that you rely on. And because Teams is part of the 365 stack, it comes with enterprise-grade security, compliance, and manageability that we all expect and value. But what does that mean for you? It means that Teams can help you transform your workplace collaboration, bringing people together in shared workspaces where you can chat, meet, create, and make decisions. It brings all of your content together, organized by team or project. It takes the average person 23 minutes to regain productivity after an interruption or being distracted. You can streamline your processes. You can use the applications to maximize that into tailor-made solutions. Imagine being able to seamlessly kick off a repeatable approvals process without ever having to leave Teams. Connect everyone on a single platform that's tailor-made. Whether you're on the front line or in the office, the user interface is seamless and unified. And as always, enterprise-grade security and compliance. So straight into the Teams applications piece of the webinar. And first, we'd like to discuss and demonstrate in more detail is approvals. But as much as I can tell you what approvals is, I'd like you to benefit from Microsoft's infinite marketing budget with a really quick explainer video.
From project proposals to client agreements, you need these requests approved. Approvals in Microsoft Teams is your hub to request, view, and manage all your approvals, including ones from SharePoint, Power Automate, Microsoft Dynamics 365, and more. In Teams, go to Approvals and select New Approval Request. Add details, then send it out. Approvers can sign off on a request right from a chat. Whether you need a client discount, an expense report, or a vacation request approved, manage it all with Approvals in Teams.
So why do we think approvals is worth your valuable time to discuss and demonstrate? Well, let's look at the business use case for it. We all have processes within our business that require someone else to give you the go-ahead, perhaps holiday or expenses, right through to presentations, quotes, proposals, and other documents. And how do we do that at the moment? We probably send an email with an attachment asking for approval. Great. Another email to get lost in the ether. So we promote the use of approvals within Teams. It's a native application that any user can access right now and start using. It presents a single interface in which a user can track and create the approvals they need. It's mobile optimized. So if someone needs your approval when you're not in the office, you can still access it. The processes can be as simple or as complicated as you'd like to make it. But the beauty of utilizing a native Teams solution is it can be integrated and developed alongside all the other Microsoft applications. So an example of when a file gets uploaded to the marketing folder in SharePoint, get the approval of the marketing director, then change the permissions of that file so you can only view it rather than edit it and keep it secure. So at this point, I'd like to introduce Zach, one of our technical account managers, to demonstrate some features and functionality of Teams approvals.
Hello there, good morning everyone. Zach here, the technical account manager here at First Group Technologies. So as we saw on the video, there's quite a few things that we can do with Teams, and one of them is the approvals. So I'm going to just show you how to do an approval request. So as we saw in the video, we click on the top right here, and of course we get the new pane. Now for this first example, I will show you the basic request type. Okay, so we're going to give it a name. So for this one, I say I would like access to the rewards folder, and of course we're going to send it over to our systems administrator, which, as you can see, we can use the approvers section to do. Now, if you do have somebody that automatically is the approver, that will automatically be filled. But for this instance, of course, you can type in manually. Then, of course, we're going to send over the request with additional details we need to. And then all we have to do is just click send. And then this is it. So they will receive the approval, and then hopefully they're going to give us the yes. So it does take a few moments to clear, but I'm just going to click off from this one. There we go. And as you can see here is under our send folder. Now, a very good feature that Teams have introduced is the Adobe eSign. So now we can basically send a document for signature straight away. Similar to what we did before, we click new approval request. Under the request type, we select eSign. And as you can see, automatically picks up Adobe Sign for the time being, but potentially there will be others in the future. Then again, we give it a name. So contract document sign off. And of course, we give it some additional details. All we need to do after that is click add attachment. I'm going to choose one from my computer. There we go. There's the contracts document. I'm going to attach it. It's going to get uploaded. At the bottom here, it's going to ask us who should be the sign off. So for this one, I'm going to use the system administrator because we need the contract to be signed. And I'm going to add an additional signer, which will be, in this instance, Megan Bowen. OK, once we're done with this, again, is a simple click send. Oops, sorry, something went wrong. I think the document would have been this one. This will not normally happen, of course, but this is the demo environment that we use. Now, as you saw here, when we click on the new approval request, we have got something called templates. What you can do within this environment is, of course, have multiple templates. As you can see here, we already have the leave template. So by clicking on this, it automatically loads up a form for us to enter. So say, for example, we want to go to a lovely holiday. So for our birthdays, OK, so we type in, sorry, my apologies, this is on the wrong one. We type in the name of the request. This one, of course, will be for Megan for us to approve. The type of the request, of course, you can see we have already pre-filled a lot of options, but this one's going to be the annual one. When we want to go away, so let's say from Monday until Friday. Any remarks you want to put in, and then all we have to do is send. Now, as you saw from the templates, okay, we can do additional ones. So by clicking on the top here, we can see manage templates. Now, at the moment, we have got the leave request, okay, but we also get the option to create a new template. And as you can see, there's a lot of already pre-made templates for us to choose from. OK, so for example, if we want business trips or overtime. So let's go ahead and create an overtime one. So the overtime one, as you can see, this is what it looks like by default. So if we want to leave it as it is, all we have to do is click next. Of course, we want it to be team specific because it's going to be for us. And then we're going to do it for the projects team from that list. Now, this one here is telling us basically what it looks like. You know, is it going to be attendance, administration, and so on? But if we're happy with the design, all we do is click next. Here we can amend by the field, so we can delete, remove, up and down, as you can see here. So fully customize it to exactly what we want to see. In this instance, I'm very happy with the design as it is, and then all we need to do is click next. If you do require file attachment, of course, you can do this here. Any approvers that you want to pre-select, like I mentioned earlier, you can enter them here. But since we want to leave it open for the requester, all we need to do is preview and publish it. And this is our new request. And now just to make a note that as we saw in the video, you can do approvals triggering within other events such as Teams, SharePoint, and Outlook, not just by somebody creating the event, so they can be fully automated. And this is the demo for the approvals. Chris, over to you now.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Zach. So next, we move on to an app that has changed its name more times than I care to count. You may know and use the To-Do app within Microsoft. You can use it as a standalone app for your own tasks. It will integrate with Outlook for any flagged emails, and there's a handy feature called My Day that lets you choose the tasks that you'd like to complete and allow you to prioritize. Now, Planner has also been around for a while, and this is the Microsoft equivalent of Monday.com, Trello, or Asana. Recently, they have been combined with a beautifully straightforward name, Tasks by Planner and To-Do. I did warn you that Microsoft had an endless marketing budget. So once again, what's the use case? Well, put simply, it's a team or channel focused task list that can be accessed by the relevant people for full visibility and accountability of task completion and teamwork. There may be very disciplined people on this webinar that every morning write their to-do list and take great satisfaction in crossing out the items when complete. Then anything not done, they write at the top of list for tomorrow. You know the old saying, today's to do, write tomorrow's list. Once again, the power in this solution is its simplicity and integrability with the rest of the Microsoft ecosystem. Much like with approvals, we can automate the creation of tasks, create alerts when tasks are completed. And if you want to link both solutions together, like we have internally, we seek the approval of the person that you're giving the task to, so that they knowingly have to approve that. You're asking them to complete, therefore accepting responsibility and accountability for its completion. To demonstrate Tasks by Planner and To-Do, I'd now like to welcome another one of our technical account managers to the stage, Sam.
Hi everybody, my name's Sam. I'm another technical account manager here as part of the group. To-Do is something, or tasks in Planner and To-Do is something I use on a daily basis. So I hopefully am quite versed in it, but we'll see as we go. So up here on the left, we've got the tasks from To-Do itself. So as Chris alluded to, it's a standalone app that you can use externally of Teams. But what Teams is trying to do is bring all of these into a central unified platform to sort of keep yourself on track. So up here we've got tasks, so we can simply add a new task. It could be as simple as get a report from John. You don't have to do anything more than that if you don't want to. It sits there as a task waiting to be signed off. Beyond that, you can actually add more details to it. So if you wanted to get a bit more in depth, you can set a priority. In this sort of simplified version, there's just important and medium. We'll keep this one a medium for the time being. You can obviously add a due date. I like to do this for every one of mine. So say I needed to do this by Friday, so it adds a due date in there. If I need any notes at all, I can add my notes down there. And a nice little feature is a checklist. So say before I needed to get the report from John, I needed to speak to Sarah about John's availability. I think it's not great. So there we go. We can do that. So we can add all of the features there, and then you can see there's one checklist that needs to be completed as part of this task. Priority is not urgent or important, therefore there's no red tick, and the due date is obviously this Friday. You can drill down further in your personal tasks. So this is a general task section up here. So this could be as long or as short as you need it to be, depending on how organized you are. I like to think I keep mine sort of below 10, but I regularly see 20 or more tasks in there, which stresses me out a little. You can scroll down here to just see the important tasks. So say if you were falling a bit behind, or you only had so much time left in the day, you really needed to see what was important. You can distill it down to just see your important tasks. Likewise, if you're ahead of the game, and we've got check site usage here, its due date is not until this Friday, but because it's important, you might want to bring that forward and just do it today. So the important task is a nice little feature if you want to distill your information down a little bit further. Planned, so this is anything that's got a due date next to it, and you can organize them by due date. You can organize them by any field actually, but it tends to default to the due date. So again, you can see all of your upcoming tasks, and I know I've got 3 for today, one of which is urgent. I've got a couple for tomorrow, so it might be that if I get ahead of the game, I want to pull one of these forward, or likewise, It looks like I'm quite quiet tomorrow. If we look at these, they book your flights, you can anticipate maybe a 20-30 minute job. If one of these falls over, possibly not the urgent one, it's not too bad because you've only got two. So again, it's about it's designed with simplicity in mind. It's easy to use, it's quick for an overview, but it's great for keeping yourself on track. And again, the fourth sort of default list down here is assigned to me. So if you want to look at the ones that other people have given you, if that's a focus for you to say, okay, maybe you put an importance on what other people have given you, maybe PA or secretary, other people have assigned you tasks, come in here and you can see all the ones that other people have given you, and you could keep tasks for your own personal list and give that a slightly different level of importance. The second section is planner. So that top section was all from to do, and now we can move down to planner. So Consoso is a fictional company that Microsoft often refer to, and in this example, I'm using them as one of our clients. So if I click down here, a really important team task for these is the name of the planner. If you click into it, on the face of it, it looks fairly similar. So it's a range of tasks again, all pulled up to the top. So you can't really miss anything. You can't look in the wrong place. It just helps you to break it down even further. So here's the list view. Again, you'll notice a couple of extra features that I'll talk about in a second. But essentially, it's the same sort of list. When you come over to board view, here's where things really start to open up and looks sort of slightly differently. So these are known as buckets. And what I've done here is I've designed this for internal tasks and client tasks. So the idea is you could share this to-do list with a client and you could work on things collaboratively. So you can assign things into the internal tasks bucket, which I've done, and into the client's task bucket, which is over here. You can do slightly different things as well. So if I click into these, you get quite a few more options. So I've labeled this as part of the delivery team, and you can put different labels here for different teams. Start date and due date. So if it's more project based, you can say whether it's in progress, whether it's been completed. Again, you've got more priority options over here. You've got notes, the checklist, which we spoke about earlier. You can also add an attachment. So if I'm coordinating with the delivery team and I need to send them something, here would be a good place to attach that. And again, any comments that you might have. So it's a great way of working collaboratively with people outside of the business, with different departments, with different teams, and getting everybody together. Just moving on to the final two views, you can view it by charts, so you can see some metrics here. So again, it's a great place to see if you're falling behind or if you're ahead of schedule. We've got 4 of the tasks not started, not unusual. It's a great place to have your tasks before you start them. And we've got 1 of the ones in progress, and we've completed 1 as well. So it's a great little place to see some metrics on how things are going. And again, there's a schedule view. So if you prefer to look at it this way in terms of what do I need to do today in relation to this project, you can see them here, and that's how it's broken down. So I hope that's been a useful overview. It's definitely helped me a lot, and I'll definitely continue to use it in the future. Back over to you, Chris.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Sam, for that really useful insight. I know we, as I alluded to, use it a lot internally as well for sharing tasks between the teams. So there is some advanced functionality that we are unable to demonstrate in this webinar, and that is task publishing. So with task publishing, you can publish lists targeted to specific locations and teams across the organization to define and share a work plan to be completed at those places. Let's say it's a weekly checklist or a monthly health and safety confirmation. A retail franchise with multiple shops across the country wanting to ensure that all areas are checked for cleanliness and customer satisfaction. Users create, manage and publish task lists on a separate tab called Publish Lists. However, it is only available if it has been set up, as you need to create a team hierarchy. Once it's been published though, team leaders can then delegate various tasks to their team members with full visibility of when they've been completed, whilst the person at the top of the chain that originally created the tasks can list all of the stores or locations to get an overall level of completion and results. As mentioned, there is some preparation work to enable task publishing with the team's hierarchy, which is coded in the configuration using PowerShell. If that would be of interest to anyone, please let us know, as I'd love to discuss it in more detail with you. So, although we've covered 2 of the Teams apps, there is an abundance of free Microsoft Teams applications available. Here is a quick summary of them. A point to note, once again, that all of these are built upon Power Apps, so can be further developed and bespoked to your needs, but it does give a very good out-of-the-box experience and starting place. I get quite excited when I discover a new app that's been released, as it means I get to go and install it in our testing channel and begin to understand how a business might be able to use it and benefit from it. We already have a number of these implemented as well. So going from top to bottom, boards can be used as a collection of information, pictures, links, and documents, all ordered visually. Bulletins is like a mini company notice board for news, new starters, and events. Employee ideas is where staff can submit suggestions against a particular topic and then upvote the most popular ones so that they rise and are seen. Inspection is an out-the-box survey tool, let's say for a daily machinery maintenance check before you use it. You can create the questions to be answered, and any problems or remediation will be created as tasks within a planner, as you've just seen. Issue reporting could be used as an internal ticketing system, or issue reporting, as the name suggests. Milestones can be used as a high-level objective tracker with tasks, statuses, and categories to display progress. Perspectives is a great forum-style Q&A discussion app for people to ask questions internally and get answers from other staff members. Lastly, Profile Plus is a great application to learn more about the other people in your business, see what skills and projects they're working on alongside their interests and personal goals. I think this one has a huge potential, given a lot of businesses may have employees that have only ever worked from home and may know nothing about the other team members or who to ask about invoicing or product knowledge. A couple of apps that are missing from this list are the Shifts app, Microsoft's built-in shift management application, or Bookings, an external-facing app for clients to book a meeting in your calendar or maybe a service through an out-facing web page, a bit like Calendly, just Microsoft's own. Hopefully you can see that a vast range of applications are available to you right now to solve some of the challenges that you might be overcoming at the moment. I do plan to do further video content and potentially workshops so that we can demonstrate each of these apps individually, but I'm sure you'll appreciate it would be quite an effort to fit them all into this hour. So moving on to Teams Rooms. This has been a personal project of mine over the last 6 months to enable us to educate about the actual benefits of the hardware and to understand the potential capabilities it has. Microsoft have always been the cornerstone of teamwork. People who are dependent on each other to achieve shared goals inevitably gather together, align and drive progress. In fact, meetings are so vital that 37% of employees' time is spent in them, and busy people attend over 60 a month. Some stats: 85% of meetings have at least one remote attendee, 33% of meetings are 100% virtual, and 38% of remote attendees join via mobile. With the number of meetings and participants today, there is a great opportunity for noise to arise, unfortunately, whether it comes from the form of unpreparedness, distractions, attendees not feeling included, or a lack of follow-through from the meeting. Online meetings, people sometimes struggle with paying attention due to distractions, multitasking, poor sound or video quality. And worst of all, the value of meetings diminish when important insights like decisions and action items fall between the cracks. To be anything but consistent, here's another quick 60-second video demonstrating Teams Rooms.
Modernize your meetings and work like you're in one place with Microsoft Teams Rooms. Teams meetings are simple to schedule. In Outlook, just press the Teams Meeting button to turn your meeting into a Teams meeting. Microsoft Teams Rooms replaces your conference phone and adds an HD audio-video experience to your meeting rooms. With just one touch, join a Teams meeting and instantly connect with every participant. Take control of your meeting by managing the attendee roster and functions, like muting participants' microphones. You can join a Teams meeting from anywhere, whether you're in the office or on the go. Display wirelessly to easily project content both in the room and to remote participants. Or use your mobile device to easily share and drive content into the Teams meeting. Add other colleagues to your meeting from the directory or by calling their phone number. Microsoft Teams Rooms from leading device manufacturers work in a wide range of room sizes, from huddle spaces to large conference rooms. Microsoft Teams Rooms. Transform every meeting.
So luckily for me, the video does a great point of introducing it, but it's full of features with just a couple here. All the experience and features you'd expect from the desktop client. Simple one-touch join, and it absolutely is one-touch join, as people in our office will testify. Abilities to make phone calls like a conference phone or dial people into meetings. It also allows audio conferencing if people need to join in via a phone call. Then screen sharing, all from a simple to use touchscreen in the center of the room. It's easy for anyone to book and use. It's the same quick and easy process that you'd use to book out a room within Outlook. Nothing changes. Scaled to all room sizes and can integrate with existing audiovisual equipment. Here are just some of the well-known brands that have partnered with Microsoft to create a diverse and competitive hardware catalogue. It runs both Android and Windows, depending whether you'd like an all-in-one unit or a more complex solution. You'll see a lot of well-known vendors in this diagram that work in the audiovisual conferencing space, which I think demonstrates that they see a value in investing their time into this solution. As mentioned, there is a solution to fit any size and budget for any workspace, whether it be a small huddle room or a larger boardroom. Industry-leading technology can help meet, present, and collaborate effortlessly, regardless of physical distance. Microsoft Teams devices are designed to help people optimize the power of Teams and bridge the gap between remote and shared workspaces. Through a combination of Teams meeting features, people-centric rooms experiences, and industry-leading hardware, users benefit from low-friction, inclusive, and interactive meetings, whether they join remotely or in the meeting room. Many people may not have used the whiteboarding facilities within a Teams call. However, this feature extends to digital displays and touchscreens. And I implore you to go and try the whiteboard functionality when you next get a chance, just to see how it works and whether it could be useful to you. There is a Microsoft Hub available, which is Microsoft's own dedicated interactive touch display. So if you'd like more information, please let us know. But checking the website this morning, the prices start from about £8,000 and go upwards. I love this. Content cameras. How to bring an analog solution into the digital world. This to me is a perfect example for the art of the possible. It treats the whiteboard as a webcam that can be shared with all remote participants so they can collaborate as if they were in the room. It works well with flip charts just as well. It's just a beautiful idea to ensure remote workers don't feel left out of the conversation. And what's more, it makes the person writing on the whiteboard translucent so that people can always see the content. Now, we have a whiteboard in our boardroom and I cannot wait to use this capability. And I'd love to speak with you if you think this would solve a problem you're facing right now, but just an incredible use of technology. It's good to note, for anyone that still has to use Zoom or Cisco WebEx, the hardware can be configured to join these meetings as well. So don't worry, by investing in a Microsoft Teams Room solution, you can still attend the other types of customer meetings. I don't believe it supports Google Meet just yet, but we'll have to see if that gets included in the future as well. The next device category is Microsoft Teams Panels, which is a space and times management solution powered by the native Teams experience. It's a tiny display that can allow people to book an available room, spot if there's space, or find a nearby room that might be free. You've got the option to customize the experience, integrating apps, both first and third party alike. When paired with the Teams Room solution, you can have a connected device experience to display things like the current capacity notifications, which is gathered through the in-room certified cameras. And while the best end-to-end experience is pairing a Teams panel with another Teams device, you can actually add these outside any meeting space, regardless of whether you have the Teams Room solution inside, allowing users to schedule any room through Outlook or right from the panel itself. Managing the Teams devices is simple and easy from the Teams Admin Center. It's easy to control the firmware. You can check the health to make sure that they're all working as effectively, and all of your inventory management and tagging is there. Remote troubleshooting through a partner such as us or your in-house IT provider. But I think the main thing to highlight is that it's not going to add a load of complexity and difficulty to managing these solutions. I've added the following information as Logitech is our current preferred hardware vendor of choice when it comes to Teams Rooms equipment. This wonderful touchscreen sits pride and joy in the centre of our boardroom and displays all the information and controls that you'd expect to see, right down to the little details such as the icons being the same in the same order. But functions such as muting, allowing people into a meeting, dialing in another team member can all be done from this device as well. It is wired, so cable management is something to think about and plan for though. Next are the room bundles. Going back to the standpoint that there is a solution for any size room, whether it be a small huddle room or a large boardroom seating 16 plus people, they're easy to understand and install the bundles, and they're perfect to use alongside Teams rooms. We can work with your exact requirements and specifications, and we're always more than happy to show you our own solution in our boardroom if you'd like to see it in person. The larger bundles, medium and large, are scalable to meet a variety of applications with additional speakers and mic pods available. There is a licensing that needs to be enabled for each room, and it's currently for the standard Teams room license £11.30 per room per month. So on to the final section of our webinar. Microsoft's newest addition is Microsoft Viva. Now, I'm sure you can all guess that this is their response to the last 2 years and the challenges that businesses have been faced with remote working and employee well-being. This new employee experience platform is currently a work in progress, and some apps are available now and some ready by the end of the year, assuming they keep to schedule. Either way, we wanted to quickly run through each one, why we think they have a genuine business use case, and bring them to your attention right now. So let's start with Viva Insights. This one is already available within Teams, and you can search within the App Store and access it as soon as we finish this webinar. It's all about personal well-being, time management, and team communication. It features an integration with Headspace that has a number of meditations and calming exercises all there for you to use. It encourages you to complete that to-do list. Stay connected with people. So you say in an email, I need to send you that attachment. Using artificial intelligence, it will create a reminder and ask you, did you actually send that attachment? It asks how you're feeling, and you can keep a track of your mood throughout the days and weeks of working remotely. It encourages you to schedule some personal focus time. Block it out in your calendar if you need rest or to catch up on work. Will you be taking your lunch today or just working right through? You may have seen Virtual Commute. This is a feature to allow remote workers to plan meditation and mindfulness exercises during the day that they might normally be decompressing in the car or public transport on the way to and from work. I know after I've been to a long meeting, the drive back allows me to think about what's happened and the actions I need to do next before I get home. There is some additional functionality from a manager's standpoint within Viva Insight. However, at the moment, it's only available to companies with an enterprise agreement, which means you need a minimum of 500 seat subscription. We hope it'll be open to smaller accounts soon because it helps identify where staff are working too hard, potentially burning out if they're working too late or doing too many hours. Maybe they need some help. It can remind you to schedule in regular one-to-ones and keep your communication channels open with some really useful insights from a corporate perspective. Next is Viva Topics. Topics automatically organizes content and expertise across your organization from Teams, SharePoint, and OneDrive, making it easy for people to find information and put knowledge to work. I guess Topics could be seen as a automated intelligent wiki, as it were, that can create and curate information relevant to the topic that you set out. It would help users identify knowledge and information such as product catalogs or project information. Topics is available at the moment with a license subscription cost of £3.80 per user per month. It enables you to turn your content into knowledge to be accessed and processed and identifies topics of information from within your own organization's content. Helps find related topics. The picture on the screen shows a card that's being displayed when you hover over a keyword, and you can tag certain individuals that are more competent or knowledgeable about the area and allows people to understand information easily and accessibly, all within Teams. Viva Learning. So this hasn't been released yet to my knowledge, I did check the other day, but could be extremely useful and powerful when it has. Empowering employees to always be learning and improving. This app allows you to create tailored training portals for both new and existing employees alike. It will integrate and display content from places such as Microsoft Learn, Microsoft 365 Training, LinkedIn Learning, and a host of other training providers. It allows you to discover and share learning content that's tailored to you, to recommend content to your peers. Leaders and managers can track your progress and whether you've completed certain courses that they've recommended. And all of this learning takes place in the same place, the hub of work that is Microsoft Teams. Here is one that you can have straight away, Viva Connections. Connections is the new Teams application for turning your SharePoint site into a home, a modern day intranet, if you will. With lots of features planned for now and the future, it'll be driven by artificial intelligence, but also your own employees to create the curated, tailored feel to how people interact with your business. It becomes the portal into your business home. It can encourage people, empower them, inform them about the information, keep them up to date with what's happening across the organization with individually tailored insights. Also the contributions from other people. Streamline visibility into your company's critical employee resources with the personalized dashboards. Quick one-touch access to inform and infame people's actions, allow employees to promptly return to their jobs. So where would we be without one last video from Microsoft themselves to summarize Teams and Viva as a whole? So to almost bring this webinar to a close, and I hope there have been some really valuable things you can take away from this to go and try yourself within your own business. The key points I'd like to emphasize are everything is about communication, collaboration, customization, and working with confidence. Hopefully you can see there are so many ways to maximize Teams to achieve the goals and bespoke the platform to your needs to give an excellent user experience. We can create unified and all-inclusive meetings with Teams rooms. So whether you're sat round the table or the comfort of your own home, you should definitely be part of the conversation. And Microsoft Viva, putting a focus on inclusivity, well-being, knowledge, and learning. I have to say, it's a very exciting time to be involved within the technology sector, with all of the developments and advancements. But to be realistic, they need to have a business benefit if people such as yourselves are going to be expected to use them. You need to understand how it can help, what problem it is solving, and why should you invest time and money into implementing them. So what's next? After this webinar, there will be a resource pack available with a recording should you wish to watch this again or share it with someone that maybe wasn't perhaps able to join us. We have a brochure available for Teams rooms explaining the features, benefits and prices in more detail. We spent time writing a white paper about the challenges of flexible working that covers all the elements from cybersecurity to employee communication. We regularly release 60-second tips videos, and these are hosted on our website and created by myself and the team, with a hope that even if people can only spare 60 seconds of their day, we can try to teach them something new and useful within the Microsoft 365 platform. Examples have been how to maximize Outlook, dictation tools, and managing Teams notifications. We'd love to hear from you if you have any feedback about the webinar or if you'd like to discuss anything you've seen over the past hour. We have a number of workshops available to go through Teams structures and SharePoint planning, demo some of the apps we mentioned, such as Inspections or Profile Plus. Our business analyst would welcome an opportunity to discover whether automation and data visualization using Power Automate or Power BI could benefit you as well. The last thing from me is just to say a huge thank you for your time. I genuinely hope it's been useful, insightful, and inspirational with some new ideas about how the platforms could be better used within your own business. Please feel free to reach out to myself or any of the team, or visit our website. Have a wonderful day and a cracking rest of the week. Thank you and goodbye.